Listen to the drum sounds.
Let's take them folk to YNC. You shooting a movie, meet us on the set. We at YNC. Battle tested, Generation X. Ayy, YNC, wanna smoke. You know where it's at. At the YNC with it. Gotta know what to expect. Yeah, YNC, yeah, that's where everybody be. Ayy, YNC. Last year we gave the folk the key to the YNC. Who gon' be the last one to leave out the YNC? Pull up and I get out here and freeze. Ayy, yeah, this is where it start at. Where your skills, where your rank, where your heart at. Where your fans, where your coaches, where your squad at. It's how you finish up the drill, it don't matter where you start at. Ayy, this is where all the gangs get litty. Ayy, yeah, tell me who gon' take it back to they city. Yeah, ayy, this is where all the greatest teams be. Game week, yeah, you know where to find me. Let's take them folk to YNC. You shooting a movie, meet us on the set. We at YNC. Battle tested, Generation X. Ayy, YNC, wanna smoke. You know where it's at. At the YNC with it. Gotta know what to expect. Yeah, YNC, yeah, that's where everybody be. Ayy, YNC. Last year we gave the folk the key to the YNC. Who gon' be the last one to leave out the YNC? Pull up and I get out here and freeze. Ayy, YNC, can anybody beat rare breed at the YNC? Voodoo going for a 5P at the YNC. Big zip, solid concrete at the YNC. Adamsville coming back to eat, yeah, YNC. Bessemer got two different teams in the YNC. Them Buckeyes gon' crush them by the dreams at the YNC. Them beat that cause it ain't no in between. Ayy, who leaving out of Florida with that ring? Let's take them folk to YNC. You shooting a movie, meet us on the set. We at YNC. Battle tested, Generation X. Ayy, YNC, wanna smoke. You know where it's at. At the YNC with it. Gotta know what to expect. Yeah, YNC, yeah, that's where everybody be. Ayy, YNC. Last year we gave the folk the key to the YNC. Who gon' be the last one to leave out the YNC? Pull up and I get out here and freeze.
Yo, welcome to Generation X Youth Sports Network Football Uncut. Of course, I'm Jonah Willard. My partner in crime, Clayton Guillory. Man, it's going down. It is YNC time. This is what you guys did all the way from June, July, August, September, October. It's leading up to these last 2 weeks as we get ready to go down to sunny South Florida in Wellington, where we were crowned the best of the best. Y'all already know what it is, man. The competition level will be off the charts. And man, tonight we'll talk about getting close to our final rankings. We'll reveal the top 15 teams in the country as we're late in November, as we get ready to approach to this YNC. And we'll talk about the teams that's already committed. And of course, you know how the selection process goes here at the YNC. Of course, the Generation X rankings will seed the top teams in the country because we want to see the best competition. And from then, these teams have to select it. Now, listen, there'll be some teams that will select other platforms, and there'll be some teams that like to play around to the last minute. You know, coaches who don't want to handle their paperwork, those coaches will be on the outside looking in. Listen, they can always buy a ticket to the YNC and come sit in the stands and watch the best get it down. You know what I'm saying? But with no further ado, Clayton, man, as we get close to the end of the year, we see in certain age groups that teams are really fighting to really establish those top 8. And then you have some age groups, man, that the cream has already rise to the top. They really have a top 4 or top 5 that's heavy in that age group. But listen, we both know, Clayton, that it doesn't matter where you're seated at the YNC. You can come in ranked number 8, and I'll go to a team that was ranked number 8. They lost in their playoffs. So a lot of people, they like to say, hey, listen, we see you guys select somebody, they're not even their champion in their region. They didn't even win their own playoff. They got knocked out the first round. But like we said, in those particular things, when we're watching these teams, we know they have the ability to be the best of the best, and all they have to do is have the opportunity to get in that gauntlet. SED did it years ago. They came in at rank number 8, Clay. They came in at the 8th seed, played the hardest road. They came in game 1 and played the number 1 team in the nation. Knocked them off game 2. Then they came and played the number 3 team in the nation. Knocked them off in game 2. Then they went to the national championship and brought it all in. So is it impossible for the 8 seed, Clay, in any particular age group to come in and be the YNC champion this year?
It's not impossible, man, and that's the thing that makes the YNC so credible, man, is that anybody that's in the bracket has a shot to be the national champ. You refer back to SED when we was at IMG that year. Like you said, they came in as the
Yeah.
eighth seed, knocked off the number one seed day one, knocked off number three seed the next day, right? And the crazy thing about the whole process, right, is that everybody was saying, "Oh, this has got to be a fluke." SED went undefeated for 364 days. Went undefeated for almost a year. And then they
Right.
lost that next year in the national championship against Rare Breed, right? So they like you said, they lost in their league championship, came in as the eighth seed,
Yeah.
outcoached, outplayed everybody, number one team in the country, went undefeated for 364 days, right? So the thing about it is it impossible? No. But it takes a special type of team, man. It takes a special type
Yeah.
of team to jump on that ship and say, day one, we're going to take the number one team in the country and knock them off the box, man. So, the question that a lot of people have to ask is, if I'm the eighth seed, am I that team?
Right.
If I'm the coach, I'm asking, what do I need to tell these players? What position do I need to put these guys in to get them motivated to knock off the number one team in the country day one and put everybody on roller skates? One thing about it
Man.
is though, Jonah, and I'm gonna
Yes.
say this.
Yes.
I have a feeling we might see a number one seed go down in the first round this year.
Ooh, first round. Day one?
Day one,
Man.
Jonah. Day one. Day one, they
The
gonna be
number
in the
one.
consolation bracket. Day one, they're gonna be in the consolation bracket, man. And I'm not saying, I mean, hey, sometimes humble pie, hey,
Yeah.
it's just got to be served.
Man. But that's sense. Listen, I can see the number one team getting knocked out in game or round two, but man, day
I'm
one.
talking first
Could
round,
you
Jonah.
could you imagine being the parents on that number one team and y'all you got your outfit for every day of the week. You okay, listen, I'm going down to
What?
wine. On Monday, I'm wearing this. Tuesday, I'm wearing this. Wednesday, oh, they ain't gonna be able to stand me. This the outfit because I know we're gonna be around two. And on Thursday, man, in media day, I'm wearing this. And then boom, you got all them outfits that's gonna stay in the closet on Tuesday on. So man, I remember. Listen, also remember that game with Kane Archer? They came in number 8 as well, and that was a year crazy at 13U. It was 11 teams in the 13U, and Clay, you got hammered. Why y'all let the KC Outlaws in there? They got 3 losses on the year. Why y'all let the people in? Y'all got a money grab going on down there. Them people shouldn't
That's
even
it.
be in there. Okay,
Got to
yeah,
have it. Got to have
okay,
it.
yeah,
Come
yeah.
on, stop it.
Hey, but Kane Archer had them boys all the way to the championship round, fighting tooth and nail, man. And just that's what I love about the YNC. So, a lot of people say, man, why don't y'all open it up to 16 teams? Why don't y'all open it up to 14 teams? And man, it's you because number 1 through 8, anybody could win it. You know, we don't want to kill y'all time. Y'all be sitting in the stands and y'all know that, okay, number 1 is going against number 16 today, and that's going to be 54-0. And then y'all go back to your hotel room, chill out. Then, okay, well, number 1 is going against number 12 today. No, man, listen. You get off that bus, you get off that plane, and my man, anybody can have it at any time. So I'm excited. Now, what do you think? And I'm gonna put you on a send Brick City an invite. Listen, we'll send it to the 11U. I would love to see Brick City go against the Georgia Eagles, man. I think that would be a dope, first
Listen.
round
I
coming
tell you
out
what,
there.
Jonah. We trying to stay very true to this 8 teams per
Right.
age level. But I would say this. I say this, man. If
Talk to
Brick
me.
City wants to use
Yeah.
their original roster, which have
Right.
players that are considered 11U under YNC
Okay.
rules, right?
Right.
I mean, this is the
Right.
YNC, so we got to be governed by the YNC rules. I would
100%.
gladly send you guys an invitation to jump in that 11U bracket, and you can play a
Hey.
9-8 game day one to see if you get the
Woo.
opportunity to play
There go
the
your
Georgia
invite.
Eagles if they still the number one team in the country at that time. Because anything can happen. We all know how this thing
Yeah,
works, right? I'd be more than
man.
happy to. I'd be more than happy to,
There you go.
man.
There go your invite. But no, listen. In that particular, in that particular league, man. Shout out to all those kids that really put it on the line and won their particular championships, their Super Bowl championships. And it's just unfortunate that that particular league. They're focused on May birthdays, and that's how they want to do it. Unfortunately, you can't get them into a national alignment with any, not just YNC, but the other various national entities as well. I mean, at the beginning, like a couple of weeks ago, I heard they were gonna go to the CAM event, and then I hear that's not going to be valid for them anymore. So it's unfortunate. We want to see all kids be able to have the opportunity to shine on a national level. It's nothing like it, man. You win your Super Bowl, and now it's Thanksgiving time. You get ready to head into Christmas time. You got aspirations to be a national champion. It's a great feeling for these kids. It's a great experience. So, man, I would just implore you, man. Hey, shout out to those or y'all give a petition to y'all leaders in y'all particular group and tell them, listen, we want to compete on a national level. Get us in these age groups. Just want to give congratulations to the Florida Youth Football League, Clay. As a matter of fact, they've just declared, after being years from their original dates of August 1st, they have now moved to 7-1. So they have joined the vibe. They have joined
I
the
saw
vision.
that. I
Yes,
saw that, Jonah.
congratulations. So now those kids, they can end those arguments of saying, hey, listen, we have 7-1 going lined up against 8-1. Now that league will be able to compete at YNC on an even playing field. So congratulations to those ends. What you laughing at, Clay?
I'm
I
laughing.
see
I'm
I see
laughing.
Al
I'm
sneaking in
laughing at
some of those
AG, man.
messages.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
I
laughing at
gotta
AG,
I gotta
man.
open up my screen and see what you got, AG. Post it back up. So y'all dropping some comments. AG is gonna be posting up some of the comments. Clay and I will answer throughout the night. You know what I'm saying? As we get ready down to break down some of these rankings. Clay, still, where's your position as the top team pound for pound in the country right now? Let's hear from you. Where you riding
Come
with?
on,
You
man. Quit.
still high?
You saw the video today. There's nothing to question. Voodoo, Atlanta Elite Voodoo is the number one youth football team in the world. You hear me? In the
Wow.
world. Strive for five right now. You hear me? Talk about the drive for five right now. They're going for 5 YNC championships in a row. You saw the video all over
Yeah.
Battle, all over YNC, all over social media, whether if you was on Facebook or IG or TikTok, man. I
Right.
mean, this is how you get the youth national championship kicked off. You say, look here,
Yeah.
here are the guys that everybody are striving to be. Voodoo is the
Right.
gold standard right now. You can say whatever you want. It don't matter what league you're affiliated with. It don't matter what
Right.
part of the country you in. Everybody is striving to duplicate what
Okay.
Atlanta Elite Voodoo has done right now. There's
So
no question
so
about it.
who's your second running close team that you feel has been dominant from the wire, from beginning to end, from the time we kicked off in Panama to right now? Who would you give the nod to as the most second dominant team, pound for pound, no
I
matter
think
age group?
I think the second most dominant team in the country right now, obviously, is Big Zip, right? I mean, they've been really dominant from wire to wire. But I will say this. You have to give credit where credit's due. Just because
Right.
you're not blowing people out by 2 or 3 touchdowns don't mean you're not dominant. And I'm just gonna put it on this, man. Rare breeds, you can't take they by. I mean, there's really no other way to say it, man. Rare
Right.
breeds is that squad. They have to be in
Right.
the conversation. If this is not Voodoo's fifth year in a row, we'd be talking about Rare
Right.
Breeds as the number one team pound for pound in the country, right? But here's what's gonna make this year so sexy for me.
Talk to
I
me.
finally go get to see it with my own eyes, Jonah. And I'm gonna tell you, I don't give a damn what's going on. It could be a melee going on in the parking lot. I'm finna.
Oh, hey man, hey, AT&T would mess with my dog's speech right as he get ready to come out, man. They done froze my dog Clayton up. You might have to plug in and play in because I'm curious to hear what this melee. Hey, if a melee was going on, you was gonna want to watch it. any which way. So yeah, Clay, you might have to restart and reboot, man. But I can tell you what, those are some good choices, y'all. I mean, if you talk about some of the top teams in the country, go ahead, Clay. You got cut off at Melee. What were you going to
Hey,
finish when you?
I don't care if there's a melee going on in the parking lot. I'm gonna
Right?
be on the sidelines. Them cops gonna handle that because if I get an opportunity to stand there and witness for 4 quarters, I get an opportunity to stand there and witness DeMarcus Flanagan and Rod Mack, Reb Reed and Miami Garden Ravens go head to head. Hey man,
Yeah.
that thing right there, that's where it's at. That's what I got to see.
But a lot of people are saying that, you know, you might not see that matchup because in the 13U, you got Boynton who almost knocked Rare Breeds off, depending on how these brackets shake up. And remember, Boynton beat Ravens last year. This is a game that people don't really talk about, Clay. There's a lot of people swept this game under the rug. Now, I know it's a different year, but listen, history is history. Matchups are matchups. You know, if Boynton ends up in the path of the Ravens on the way to the national championships, does Boynton knock the Ravens off 2 years in a row?
Now, I believe you've got a great point right there, right? That is definitely some Rob Mack and Bud have to take in consideration. But I was talking to Rob Mack on the phone, and this is what he say why he should be the number 2 team in the country. I said, listen, brother, Boynton had lost the game. He said, Clayton, Boynton lost to Sunnyland. I said, well, bro, Sunnyland is a 14U. He said, I done beat Sunnyland twice. I said, oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
So arguably, if Sunnyland is the common opponent that we have to compare those to, then it looks like you would
Right.
give the nod to the Miami Garden Ravens. But you know as well as I know, you can't go off common opponents because the way you win the game is about matchups. And Boynton might match
Correct.
up better with the Ravens than Sunnyland does. We just don't know.
Right. Because if you take a common opponent, you look at the Ravens that played DeMarcus this year, and they were up 22-6 at the half.
Ooh,
DeMarcus reeled them
boy.
in and ended up winning that game. And then you look at Boynton versus Rare Breeds, and man, Boynton literally took the Rare Breeds down to the last second. So listen, I tell you, that 13U is wide open. Don't dismiss OG Ducks really being a dominant force in the 13 and under as well. And that's 13U. Now let's talk. Let's talk 11U. 11U seems like it's gotten quiet because of the dominant performance of the Georgia Eagles. But if you want to talk about the Georgia Eagles, we're in a tight game against DEA to the half. And
Yep.
everybody's in a tight game with DEA for the first half. As a matter of fact, they were beating the Miami Garden Ravens. Can DEA be the dark horse and bring a national championship back to Texas if they could put 4 quarters of football together from your evaluation, Clay, of what you've seen them put in the first half of football games this year?
So I think DEA has a chance, right? I'm not going to say they don't have a chance, but I do think that they're going to have to get more dynamic with their offensive game plan. I think it's going to be very hard to beat the Georgia Eagles just running power football, right? I just watched them beat Bullet. I think it was the night before last on social media, but it was raining in Dallas, right? So I understand why they was running power ball and whatnot. But here's what you don't understand: rain, sleet, or snow,
Yeah,
you have to be able to throw to win the YNC once you get over 10 years old. Ain't no ifs, ands, or but about it. Even the great Howard, who has won many YNC championships, had to put that ball in the air to make it work, man. So I think that may be the thing that I would recommend the DEA if you're gonna have a shot to really knock off the
yeah,
Georgia Eagles, who are the number 1 team in the country right now. You have to be a little bit more dynamic. It's gonna be hard to try to impose your will because man, their D tackles and their linebackers fly to the ball.
yeah. Now, so I remember the year DEA won a national championship. They weren't predominantly a passing team. They were a strong running team, but they had a hellacious defense, exotic blitzes, run blitzes,
They did.
smothering
They
type of
did.
defense.
Yeah.
We went viral because they had one of the players that had a mustache, and he had a million views off of YNC. But that was a recipe that worked for DEA. So
Yeah.
maybe DEA says, maybe you got to be a passing team if you're Georgia. But we feel if we can be a suffocating defense and control the ball with a run game, maybe you can win. But I love 11U because I love the Miami Garden Ravens. Listen how sexy this is this year. Retract 13U. Miami Gardens Ravens against Rare Breeds would be a great matchup, a dream matchup.
Yeah.
Boynton back in the mix of that. OG Ducks in the max. Ravens, Rare Breeds, OG Ducks. It's just crazy at 13U, right? Then you go back to the 11U. You talk about the flock. This has been a long anticipated matchup. And what do I mean matchup? We wanted to see the flock in YNC in the gauntlet for the last 3 or 4 years. Because we know
Yes.
in YNC, there's no let up. If you're on 11U this year, there is no game off. There is no game where you get to take it easy. There is no game where we say, hey, we can rest our starters on this particular matchup. We can go, man, if you don't keep your starters in there to the very last second, boy, at 3 seconds left in the game, you can lose your head. So 11U is crazy. Now, everybody's saying big zip, big zip, big zip. Slow down. There's teams that I think can compete that may give Big Zip a chance. Now, do I think, personally, I know you love Voodoo, but I love the dominant performance this year. Now, if I had to give a Lifetime Performance Award, the Lionel Richie Award, the Michael Jackson
Did you
Award,
just hold
the
on, brother?
Diana
Did you
Ross
just say the
Award,
Lionel Richie
I could give it
Award?
to Voodoo because Voodoo's
Did
going
you,
on their fifth.
Jonah? Did you
But
say the
hold
Lionel
on,
Richie
hold on.
Award? You
The Lionel Richie
comparing
Award.
you comparing Voodoo to Lionel Richie?
Hello.
Oh man, listen, bro.
Is it
Listen, man. I done
anymore?
said this
I
before.
can
You
see
know,
it in your
everybody be
eyes.
on social media saying Jonah, you know, oh he favored the South Florida people. He cut for the home team, and I always defend you. At this point, I can't defend you no more. You know what? Y'all
Man,
right. Jonah be cheating for the home team. You're 100% right.
man, man, say what you want, dog. I'm just saying, Big Zip, I do, man, they're dominant, man. They're just dominant. It is what it
They
is, Clay.
are. They are
It is what it
dominant,
is.
Jonah. But let me tell you this, right? And I'm not saying this is what they are, but
Yeah,
you have to take this comparison. You have to understand this. If we are talking about championship teams at this point right now,
yeah,
right? This
yeah.
point right now, Voodoo is Tupac Shakur. And Big Zip, far as we know, could be Milli Vanilli. We don't know. We don't know.
Millie, oh,
We
you
don't know.
listen.
We don't
If
know.
them people clip your wings over, I can't even come over here and help you, dog. You just tried my dog to Millie Vanilli. Now listen, what all jokes aside, I will say this about Voodoo. It's a crazy accomplishment to have
Yes.
never lost a game from when you snap the ball at 6U to this date, and you're already at 10U. They have never taken an L. They don't know what it is to lose. So lifetime, man, I'm not gonna cap. That's unheard of, Clay. Listen, even Big Zip took a loss when they was Little Zip, when they was up there at Howard, and it was a Howard event. There was preseason. They were
I
feeling their
remember
way
that.
out. They took an L.
21-20.
And that was the
21-20.
last time that they ever took an L was at that particular game. They never lost since then. Voodoo, you can't show me a clip. You can't show me a tape. You can't show me anything. So I will give you that. Voodoo as a lifetime award have been dominant. Do I feel teams are getting closer to Voodoo? I do. I do. Do I think teams are getting closer to Big Zip? I don't. That's the difference in my opinion. You feel me?
Well,
So
no, and I can understand that 100% because here's the deal, right? As y'all know, I'm pro Voodoo, but you cannot take away from what Big Zip has done. You know, all jokes aside, they are the team to beat in 12U this year, right? That is what everybody is striving to do. But here's the thing, Jonah. As we go through these rankings tonight, I'm going to reveal after every ranking the teams that have confirmed, the teams that
yeah.
have registered for the
Okay.
YNC, the teams that are going to be there. 12U is actually the age group that we're going to have one final spot that is still open because I got two teams that's debating on invites and we still have one final spot that's open. Who's going to be man enough to say, you know what? We're going to take that zip challenge. Who?
And that's a valid point,
Because you
Clay.
and I both know it's a whole lot of chest bumping on social media. A whole lot
Well,
of
I'm gonna
chest
tell.
bumping.
I agree with you because see, in 10U and 12U, which happens to be Voodoo's home field and Big Zip
Yep.
home field, some coaches be like, okay, well, I want to win a
Okay.
national championship. And man, if the parents don't know no difference, they don't know the difference. YNC, PEC, EFI, CIN. I'm thinking, I'm bringing home a trophy. I don't care what it say on it. And that's the coaches who they not really bout. Listen, let's get this out
But
the way.
Jonah, it ain't like bringing
Listen,
this home, baby.
come
It ain't
on,
like
man.
bringing this home, Jonah.
We got it. You literally got the game on lock. Flip it around. Flip it around. Flip it
It
around.
ain't like bringing
Because
this home, Jonah.
it's two sided. It ain't one sided. It's two
It ain't like
sided.
bringing this
It's
home,
for these
Jonah.
babies. And you tell me them babies ain't gonna be rocking their ice, man. So look,
Oh my God.
why is he not for everybody, Clay? Let's get that out the way. That's just the elephant in the room. YNC is not for everybody. YNC is if you really want to get down. And it's just be 100%. Everybody ain't ready for that. You can't force somebody to be in a place they don't want to be at. So we're not going to take up no more time. We're going to shoot a commercial. We're going to vibe it around. I'm going to clear my throat. Yeah, I see the bling, bro. I see. Hold on. Where the necklace at, Bill Clay? How you showing that you don't got a
Oh, my
necklace?
bad. My bad, brother.
How you going to wear the lock? What are you wearing it with? What's the accessory?
My bad, brother. There you go.
Ooh, them babies gonna be so fly. I can't wait to see the little 6U rocking their little iced out thing, the 7U. Hey, they gonna be posing, they gonna be, blinged out. I can't wait to see them babies wear their thing, man. That's what it's all about. Hey, when we come back, we start the rankings. We drop it here. Who are the top teams in the country? 6U to 14U, football uncut. Clayton Guillory, Jonah Willard. We come back. The action's right here. Generation Next.
I'm not in competition with my homies, I'm living in competition in the boat. I knew my opposition never knew me, they wouldn't be opposition if they knew me. I made the proposition to my hitters, I told them to knock it down if you owe me. I live beside ground, hit it, building with moving. Got pounds in the 40 dope, and got shot down, we was going around me, out now, so we know. I was like 16 with the leg on me, deep in the field like a power rope. When they was 16, expecting me when they got real, try to slide on. I made some nails with the guys on, and we keeping it real tonight. How I feel.
Is this the greatest 10U football team of all time? ATL Elite Voodoo from Atlanta, Georgia is one of the most dominant youth teams in the country. Over the past 3 years, Voodoo has defeated every team in the national top 10 rankings, and they're riding a winning streak of over 100 games across the last 4 years. Yes, over 100 games.
Be sure to keep an eye out for last year's MVP, number 10, Mike Willie, aka LA Mike, as well as Jerry and Nelson, Parker Cyber, and Mason Henderson.
This team is looking for their 5th straight youth national championship this year. Can anyone stop the reigning champs?
Ooh, it's about them babies. Listen, we will be dropping videos of each
You saw it.
champion
You
of
saw it.
breakdown. Hold on. Stay tuned. We got 8 more teams, baby. Stay tuned. We're gonna show all the babies love. Listen, say what you want to say about YNC. We're gonna give y'all that digital media footprint. We're gonna let them babies shine. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of shining, Clay, let me flip to the Rolodex of teams of all teams. Okay, let's pull it on up and make sure we're super clean. We'll go ahead and post this on IG tonight. We'll post it on Facebook tonight. So y'all don't have to screenshot the video look because that'll be blurry. Don't kill our artwork look. Don't with blurry look. But listen,
Real talk. Real
six
talk.
6U, the teams on the rise. It's a little late to
Okay.
rise, but listen, you can still get a chance. And why do I say you still have a chance? Because not every team, I've already disclosed, YNC is not for everybody. So pay attention to these
100.
top 15 teams because there's some teams that maybe at number 11 and number 12 by default may slip into the YNC because those other teams are not going to cash in on that type of competition this year. All right, the number 15 spot coming out of Georgia. Newland Outlaws at 15 spot out of Texas. Clay, we need to see some Texas championships this year. We'll talk about the teams that we feel can bring a Texas championship. DEA is one of them, but there's some more teams out there, even on the 12U. Don't slip. Whenever you got a running back like Bull, and I know it's a team football, team football, but there's some teams that I feel Texas can make a splash this year. So we'll talk about those teams. But From RCU at number 14 spot. Coming in at Florida, Bay Area Jags at the number 13. MBK Tigers out of Alabama. Shout out to MBK Clay as an organization, new on the scene, very competitive, very
Yep.
organized. Expect MPK to be on the scene for a long time to come. Shout out to what those boys are doing in their organization. Baby Zip, the Hurricanes, coming in at the number 11 spot. At the number 10 spot, top teams in the country at at the 6U, Terrence City Ducks. Panama Poppy doing it all age groups. Congratulations to the Ducks. Maryland Heat holding it down at the number 9 spot. Baby Flock out of the Midwest, out of Missouri, at the number 8 spot, officially putting them in the target for the YNC top 8. Matry Ravens out of Alabama at the number 7 spot. And you talk about Ravens, no, it's not a repeat. Miami Gardens Ravens, a dark horse at the 6U. Remember I said it. Miami Garden Ravens out of FYFL, they just take the 7-1. Look for them to compete at the 7-1 next year. Hey, the Lauderdale Lake Vikings coming in at the number 5 spot. Atlanta Elite Wolfpack at the number 4. True Motion Sharks at the number 3. Bessemer Tigers at the number 2, and a team that has been doing it wire to wire, head by Coach Ken, Real Deal GEA Panthers at the number 1 spot. That rounds out your top 8, Clay. Talk to me about this 6U. What can we say that this is going to look like at the 6U top 8?
So here's the thing. Right now, the YNC starts today. We've got 8 teams locked in the bracket. 6 of the 8 teams are in the top 8 in the country. So let's talk about the teams that have really stepped up. They've confirmed. They've gone through their registration process, and they're going to be at the YNC because we have some people, as you said, Jonah, it's not meant for everybody, and they decided to go a different route. So your 8 teams that will be in the YNC on 6U this year: Atlanta Elite Wolfpack. Baby Flock has stepped up to the plate. The Bessemer Tigers. Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes, also known as Baby Zip. GEA, Real Deal GEA Panthers. Lauderdale Lake Vikings. MBK Tigers out of Alabama. And Motion Sharks out of Alabama. Those are your 8 teams that have confirmed and are ready to battle the gauntlet to be the number 1, undisputed number 1 youth football 6U team in the country.
And I could dig it, Clay. And the reason why I can dig it, because, like, again, you don't take that opportunity, you don't take the window. That's why we pay attention to the top 15 teams, because not everybody's going to go that route. They see a juggernaut in that particular age group, they want to run the other way. That's what you call don't want the smoke. They only want to puff. I get you. They're going to puff, we smoking. It's the difference. You know what I'm saying? First Fridays, baby. You understand what I'm saying? So that brings it up and it wraps it up. Go ahead and print it. These are your top 15 teams. We are locked and loaded on the 6 and under division for your top 8 teams. That division is closed. Those are your teams that will be competing for a YNC 2024 championship. Clay, drum roll, let's take us to 7U.
All right, so with that 7U, we're going to start with our on the rise. Again, like Jonah said, these are the teams that are on the rise, and you never know how this thing will slice up. Start at number 15 on 7U. You have the Twin City Outlaws. Number 14, Rosedale Tigers out of Maryland. This is a team I don't know very much about, but we've been hearing that they've been winning, so we got to learn about them. Number 13, Bullet Academy out of the DFW area in Texas. Sitting at number 12 on our on the rise, Real Deal GEA Panthers. Number 11 on 7U, on the rise, Tampa Jaguars. Now, let's talk about our top 10 7U in the country. Starting it off at number 10, you have DMVU, NWO. Sitting at number 9, Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes. Number 8, and man, they made a big splash a couple weeks ago, and they're back.
Yes, sir.
The Hemi Boys. Number 7, True Motion Sharks out of Alabama. The number 6 team in the country, Lithonia Lions, representing Georgia. And your top 5 7U teams in the country go like this. Sitting at number 5, the West Orlando Jaguars. Number 4, North Henry Tigers. sitting at number 3, and the defending YNC national champions, the Bessemer
Yeah.
Tigers. Number 2, Southeast Dallas Wolverines, representing the great state of Texas. And the number 1 7U team in the country right now, by far the most dominant 7U team we've seen this year, Atlanta Elite Supreme. Those are your top 15 teams in the country. So now, with 8 slots available, the question is, who on this list actually wanted to step up to the motion? Let me tell you this, Jonah. We have the top 8 teams in the country committed from top to bottom. These are the 8 teams that are in the Youth National Championship. Atlanta Elite Supreme, Bessemer Tigers, the Hemi Boys, Lithonia Lions, North Henry Tigers, SED Wolverines, True Motion Sharks, and the West Orlando Jaguars. Jonah, when you got the top 8 teams in the country, all in the same bracket, this thing could go any way.
Bananas. And like you said, Supreme has been definitely Supreme all year. And will they be able to continue their dominant performance in a juggernaut? 3 games in a row. We've seen them in Panama City. They didn't skip a beat. But can SED dethrone the champs if they end up in that bracket? If they end up in the championship game, do they have what it takes? And do you have a team that's like North Henry Tigers that's on the rise? They're playing their best football late into the season. You got in West Orlando Jags. They feel they need another opportunity. This will be one of those crazy, crazy age groups. But right now, you got to look at Atlanta and the Supreme being your favorite team to come in there. But anything can happen. This is why you play 3 games. You only have to win 3 games to be the national champion. Forget your history. Forget what happened all the way back in July and August. Throw it out the window. Everybody comes in there 0-0. You win 3 games, you are the champ. It's crazy.
It's about who's playing the best ball right now, Jonah. I mean, plain and simple. If you're hot right now, you could be walking away with the lock. If you're hot right now, you could be walking away with the padlock. It just depends, man. Can you get hot at the right moment? What do your matchups look like? I think it's going to be interesting. Even though Atlanta Elite Supreme has been so dominant this year, Jonah, I think that this bracket is a lot tighter than most people really think.
100%. 100%. A age group that is tight from top to bottom, 8 and under. I'm going to talk about the teams that's on the rise and the 8 and under. Listen, bringing in at the number 15 spot, Terrence City Ducks. Again, you're hearing Panama Poppy. He's on a roll. He's got teams in every age group so far. They
He
rolling.
built it. He built it.
And a team out of Alabama again. Alabama playing some strong football. MPK Tigers once again. We say it again. This is an organization come very young, but they're putting teams in early. Look for them to be dominant for a long time to come. Hilltop Hawks out of Ohio. Sleepy Mike is holding it down with his teams over there at the number 13 spot. Osceola Cowboys
Sleepy
out of
Mike.
Central Florida. Sleepy Mike. Osceola Cowboys. I like what they're doing in that particular area. They're really shining, and they're putting a lot of teams in a lot of different age groups. Shout out to the Cowboys. Tennessee Mob Elite, really just mixing these teams up. I like what they're doing in the Tennessee area as well. Let's talk about the top 10 teams in the country. Justice Elite Patriots out of Ohio. You haven't heard much of them scouting these teams. These are a team. This is a team that's definitely on the rise and can make some really great moves in the next couple of years. Keep an eye on we call it the Justice League, man, with Superman leading them at the running back position. Duval Jags coming in at the number 9 spot, holding it down out of Florida, and Peter Parks Panthers out of Alabama holding it down at the number 8 spot. Pay attention to these top teams now. TNT, of course, holding it down for Texas at the number 7 spot. Give a shout out to the Space City Boys, Space City Bounty Boys at the number 6 spots out of Texas. And then we talk about Real Deal GEA Panthers. They started out hot, sputtering a little bit, but they're here in the top 5. This is a team that can get hot, has some good coaching. Don't sleep on Real Deal GEA. Rare Breeds at the number 4 spot, holding it down out of Georgia. And at the number 3 spot, the Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes. This is a team, man, the Blackheart Boys. Do not be surprised on how they can put in work at the end of this year. And Atlanta Elite ATM Boys, listen, knocking off everybody in front of them, playing their best football right now. Coach Mike, all those guys over there really stepping up to the plate. pushing for a YNC championship. And of course, the undefeated, defending national champs, the billion dollar boys, Adamsville Tigers, coming in at the number one spot. But I love this 8 and under, man. This is very competitive. This is a team this is an age group that can listen when they get off the plane. This is what they're going to, and these are going to be some interesting matchups. We're going to have some prizes, Clay, on day one, Tuesday. There's going to be some epic matchups that, man, is going to shake the YNC when we come out that first day.
Jonah, again, this is another age bracket where the top 8 teams in the country have all decided to lock in and come to the YNC. Your 8 teams in the bracket are Adamsville Tigers, Atlanta Elite ATM Boys, Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes,
Yes, sir.
Real Deal GEA, Peters Park Panthers, Rare Breeds, Space City Bounty Boys, and TNT.
That's crazy.
This 8U bracket is going to be nasty, man. This 8U bracket is going to be nasty. Of course, I got to go with the defending YNC national champions, the Billionaire Boys, right? But like we talked about with 7U, this bracket's going to be a lot closer than people really think, man. This 8U bracket is nothing but fire.
Clay, is there an opportunity for Texas to go home with a lock around their neck with 2 Texas teams in the top 8?
I think this is the age group that gives them the strongest chance, right? Especially with 2 Texas teams there. But here's the reality of it. 25% of the bracket comes from Texas. But if we being honest, you got another 20. You got another 3 teams coming from Georgia, 2 from Alabama, 1 from Florida. So it can slice up any way. But notice the consistency you see here, Jonah, right? And again, please don't take this as a shot to any other place, right? But you see the consistency. Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Texas. Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Texas. And I know that there are people around the country that want to compete at the elite level, but these are the states that are consistently doing it, right? This is where you have to go to play big boy football.
Yeah.
I don't know how this AU gonna slice up, man. All I can tell you is that I'm riding with the billionaires.
Woo! All right, Trump. Let's ride out the 9U.
All right, let me go on lace everybody up with these 9U rankings. So again, 9U rankings starting on the rise. We're gonna start at number 15, MBK Tigers out of Alabama. Number 14, Maryland Elite. Sitting at number 13, Hilltop Hawks out of Ohio. Sleepy Mike on the mic once again. Sitting at number 12, Twin City Outlaws out of Georgia. Hitting them at number 11, Lauderdale Lake Vikings. Number 10, Indy Firehawks. And now as we roll into the top teams that could be accepting invites from the YNC, sitting at number 9, the West Orlando Jaguars. The number 8 9U team in the country, DMVU, No Limit. Sitting at number 7, Duval Jaguars. The number 6 9U team in the country, the Georgia Falcons. And I know they're going to be lit when they touch down in South Florida. And your top 5 9U teams in the country. Hey, man, right now we're not on his list of favorite people, but he's going to be at the YNC battling for the number 1 spot, sitting at number 5, Coach Cal and the So Icy Boys. The number 4 9U team in the country, Dallas Elite Mustangs. Sitting at number 3, Gorilla Mob. They've been to the YNC a couple times, but as you guys will see here shortly, they've decided to go a different route, a safer route, should we say. Going number 2, Real Deal Georgia Eagles, and the number 1 9U team in the country right now, the defending youth national champions, the Bessemer Tigers.
Man, you petty, man. Why you talking about the people who went a safer route? What's up with you, bro?
They did go a safer route, bro. That's not talking trash.
Petty, bro.
I ain't saying you trash at all. Listen,
you being a little petty, man. You know what I'm saying?
Let me address this before I even go into the 8 teams that are locked in, right? Gorilla Mob has constantly come to the YNC and performed well. They
Right.
arguably could have been one play away from being the national champ from last year. But
Got you.
how many times as a coach can you watch your kids' hearts break? So I understand why coach decided to go a safer route where they could celebrate at the end instead of being upset because they're the number 2 team in the country. It's okay. It's all right. But let's talk about enough with the past, Jonah. Let's talk
Right.
about the 9 teams that are locked in, right?
Okay. Let's do it.
Bessemer Tigers. Bessemer Tigers are locked in. Dallas Elite Mustangs are locked in.
Yeah.
The Georgia Falcons are locked in. The Dog Pound is locked in. The Real Deal Eagles are locked in.
Right.
So I say they locked in. Twin City Outlaws is locked in. And the West Orlando Jaguars are locked in, Jonah. You talking about the number 1 team in the country, the number 2 team in the country, the number 4 team in the country, the number 5 team in the
Right.
country, the number 6 team in the country, the number 9 team in the country. I mean, Jonah, you can't find a 9U bracket hotter than this one. Stop playing with me.
No, 100%. And I don't know why Coach Kai gonna be mad at us. Coach Kai need to be mad at Coach Kai. Listen, history, Coach. History. History says so icy. It's like Usain Bolt out the gate. Bow! Right? And then we get around that curve, and then we be like that Sanford and Elizabeth, I'm coming vibe. So listen, Coach, you got to finish your drill. If you want to be up there in the top 3, top 2, you got to finish the drill, Coach. Here's an opportunity, man. Listen, you got the rank number 5. If we were to start today, right? We look at almost like Bessemer taking on, well, we didn't have DMV in there. West Orlando came in there, so there'd be like Bessemer against West Orlando, right? Real Deal would be taking on like Duval Jack. So Icy, they'd be right there against, one of those teams out of Dallas up front. So listen, they got a great opportunity, Coach Kai. Man, make it do what it do. Preseason, they look like a team of old. I really like how they look. So will they be able to have that same type of football? Will they be able to execute? But this is another age group. Because listen, Bessemer Tigers got knocked off early in the season. They were able to climb back into number 1. There is
Oh,
no
yeah.
undefeated 9U in this group, Clay. There's no team that just came out here that's been a dominant performer from the beginning of the game that's just been top heavy. 9U is wide open. Okay, wide
True.
open. So,
True.
man,
True.
I'm excited how this is going to pan out. I'm excited how it's going to pan out. Listen, when we come back from this break, we got 10U, 11U, 12U, 13U, and we wrap with 14U, and then we'll let y'all go, man. Hey, what you whistle? Y'all run to the refrigerator, come back. When we come back, 10U, who are the top teams that's committed to YNC? Find out right here on Football Uncut.
Come on, bro. Come on, let's go, bro. Come on, let's go. When is that time? It is that time to drop the hammer.
Yeah, get ready for it. Get ready for it. YNC is coming up. It's definitely going to be a vibe. Speaking of vibes, we bring the top 10 U teams in the country, top 15. We always tell you to pay attention to the top 15 teams. You see how these brackets weigh out. If the teams do not select to be in the top competition in the country, then we bump those other teams up and they get a chance to play for the YNC gold. So listen, at the number 15 spot for 10 and under, the Detroit Seminoles coming out of Michigan holding it down. At number 14 spot out of Virginia, Playmakers Elite holding it down at the 14th spot. Number 13, Progress Village Panthers. At one time, Progress Village Panthers out of Central Florida was being super dominant. Don't sleep on these boys. They can come in there and compete on a national level. Legacy Hurricanes holding it down at the number 12 spot, and the 352 Gators at the number 11. Now we talk about the top 10 teams and 10 and under. DMVU, the Ferrari boys, holding it down at the number 10 spot out of the DMV area. North Philly Blackhawks at the number 9 spot. Shout out to those boys out of Ohio, Cincinnati Elite Sawboys. Of course, the best name that Clayton feels that a team could ever be named at the number 7 spot, North Clayton Eagles, holding it down. The Walk 'em Down gang out of Georgia.
You know what I'm
Okay?
talking about.
All right, at the number 9, at the number 6 spot, Lauderdale Lake Vikings, man, holding it down at the number 6 spot out of Florida. And at the number 5 spot, top 5 teams in the country, give it back to one of the best quarterbacks, I feel, at this particular age group with some great wide receivers, the Mac Dolphins, holding it down out of North Carolina. At the number 4 spot, you hearing them once again, a dynamic program, the Tigers, Bessemer Tigers out of Alabama. Shout out to that program. That's a dominant program. Shout out once again. Say what you want to say. You keep hearing this name over. They're doing big things over there. Southeast Dallas Wolverines, putting team after team. That's a hell of an organization coming out of Texas. Shout out to them boys. SED at the number 3 spot. West Orlando Jags. This is a team that I feel can compete for a national champion on a high level. Not disrespecting any other teams. I think SED is all that. But I think West Orlando has some tools that's going to be very, very competitive. And of course, the number 1 team in the nation, the undefeated team going for a 5P, a team that has not lost from 6U, 7U, 8U, 9U, nor 10U. Holding it down at the number 1 spot, Atlanta Elite Voodoo, the number 1 team in the league.
Voo to the motherfucking dude.
Oh my gosh,
You know what it is. You know what it is, Jonah. So listen, man. Now that you've gone through that whole 15-team list and you
right,
capped it off with the number 1 pound-for-pound youth football team known to
that I
man,
did. Yes, sir.
let me tell you about the 8 teams that have locked in to
Talk to me.
try to battle Voodoo. As we know,
Dethrone.
Atlanta Elite Voodoo is locked in. The Bessemer Tigers are locked in. CBE Sawboys are locked in. Bugatti is locked in. The team with the greatest name in youth football, the North Clayton Eagles, are locked in.
Walk them down, walk them down, walk them down.
SED Wolverines are locked in.
Yes, sir.
West Orlando Jaguars, the family, is locked in. Now you notice
The
I just
family.
gave you 7 teams. We have
Right.
1 8th spot open. There are 2 invites out right now. 2 people on this list. The question is, are they going to accept the challenge? Or are we going to have to invite a third person? Because right now you have the number 1 team in the country, the number 2 team in the country, the number 3 team in the country, the number 4 team in the country, the number 6 team in the country, the number 7 team in the country, and the number 8 team in the country. You can't get no hotter than this, man. Come on. Somebody own
Pretty
that step
much.
up to the plate. Don't be
Pretty
scared
much.
of voodoo your whole life. You know what I'm saying? Don't be scared of it. That's all I can say,
Clay,
Joe.
man, them people want a safe route. Don't be mad at them, Clay. Come on, bro. Winning ain't everything, bro. You know, youth football is for entertainment purposes somewhere in some places too. You want to go there, be entertained. The parents want to vibe, they want to chill. Winning ain't everything, bro. So leave them people alone. But listen, that 1 spot is open. Clay, can you tell me who the top 15 teams are and 11 and under?
I got you, man. I got you. So starting off, God dog it, Jonah. You done made me. Bam, bam. There we go. Starting off, on the rise, number 15, 11U. Oakland Dynamite out of California. Sitting at number
Right?
14, the North Philly Blackhawks. Sitting at number 13, I guess this is the Q, Oklahoma Sooners. out of Oklahoma, sitting at number
Yes,
12. And
sir.
Jonah, this is the team. This is the team, man, that a lot of people have been talking about. Beast End out of Virginia, and the number 11 team in the country right now, Ali Mob Elite, also known as AME. Now let's talk about the top 10 teams in the country on 11U. You have number 10, OG Ducks. Sitting at number 9, Raising Havoc. Number 8, Gainesville United. Number 7, West Orlando Jaguars. Sitting at number 6, the Twin City Outlaws. And the top 5 11U teams in the country. Sitting at number 5, DEA Dragons Elite Academy. Number 4, Miami Garden Ravens. Number 3, Tarrant City Ducks, Panama Poppy at his highest
Yes,
ranked of
sir.
all teams. Number 2, the Montgomery Cardinals. And the number 1 11U team in the country, the Georgia Eagles. And they say, fly, Eagles, fly. Jonah, the question is, who are the 8 teams that are locked in for this loaded bracket? Well, let me tell you this.
Whew.
The number 1 team in the country is there. The number 2 team in the country is there. The number 3 team in the country is there. The number 4 team in the country is there. The number 5 team in the country is there. The number 6 team in the country is there. The number 8 team in the country is there. And who grabbed that final spot? I'm finna tell you right now. Twin City Outlaws is locked in. Tarrant City Ducks is locked in. The Montgomery Cardinals are locked in. Miami Garden Ravens are locked in. The Georgia Eagles are locked in. Gainesville United is locked in. DEA is locked in. And that 8th and final spot locked in by Ali Mob Elite. AME is stepping up to the stage.
You know, when you
I
have
know
your
you
mouth
weren't
like
expecting that one. You weren't
that,
expecting that one. I know you weren't.
when you have your mouth like, you know, oh, Clay, disappointment is in the air. And listen, shout out to all those teams that's locked in because 11U is going to be bananas. It's going to be crazy. But when you win a Hall of Fame award and you get a yellow jacket, this is the year you should be flying high. And when you say anytime, Jags, right? You change your name to anytime. I take that as I'll take the challenge. When? Anytime. Not sometime. But that's for a different show. It's for a different episode. But I would have loved to see the Anytime Jags, competing for a national champion. Why do you think Anytime Jags aren't locked in 11U this year, Clay?
So the conversation that I had with Hess, man, was that right now they got hit by a pretty bad injury bug, and if he's gonna come to the big
Okay.
stage, he want to be firing on all cylinders so he can win it, right? So you
Okay.
got to respect that. It is
I
what it
respect
is.
that.
As
Yeah.
coaches in this youth game, we all know this happens from time to time, right? So
100%.
good luck to them on whatever route they decided to go, man. And Ali Elite said, "Hey, we want it. We want it. We want it." There was a couple people that said they didn't want the fade. Ali Elite said they
Right.
definitely want it though.
Well, I can tell you, man, with those particular, again, this is another age group, there's no games off. You have to bring your A game. You can't take any game for granted at all. That is truly, in my opinion, the best competition in this particular age group, bar none, not even close. I wouldn't want to play anywhere else because I would feel I'd be wasting my time. No shot to any other organization that puts on a national championship. But if I play 11U and I'm not in this particular bracket, I'm good. I'm chilling. I'm not. I'm just not gonna come. But that's just my opinion. I'm caught up into this competition thing,
Hey,
Clay.
hey,
You feel me?
hey, listen, bro. James already on his starting. AME, thank God. Make sure we get that game, Clayton Jonah. Hey, James already on his starting, man. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh man. Well, listen. The action doesn't stop here, ladies and gentlemen. As we get ready to close this out, we're at 12 and under. This is another crazy age group. A lot of teams that are just vying for the number one spot. Who can knock off Big Zip? Well, we'll find out, man. Let's bring it in at the top 15 teams in the country at 12 and under. At the number 15 spot from the West Coast, shout out to them boys, OG Ducks out of California. At number 14 spot, you're hearing them again. The Panthers are trying to come back. Those are the four. That's the Progress Village Panthers out of Florida, holding down the number 14 spot. At 13 spot, out of Washington, Brenton Bruins. I know you've been wanting to see this team play for the last 3 years, compete at YNC. Maybe we'll get it time to see them anytime soon. Shout out to them boys out of Virginia, the charged up Bulls holding it down at the number 12 spot. And from Missouri, the Midwest, NTB Wolfpack holding it down at the number 11 spot. Top teams in the country. North Philly Blackhawks coming in at the number 10. At the number 9 spot, out of Virginia, a team that is notorious for success, a program that's notorious for success. Shout out to those boys, the Watkins Bounty Boys, at the number 9 spot. And at the number 8 spot, 703 United out of Virginia. Coming at the number 7 spot, a team that has won, if not mistaken, Clay, 4 championships underneath their belt. A team that has history. They can know how to win it when it comes to this national championship thing. Will they have enough in the tank for the gas up their Lambeau, Atlanta Elite Lambeau out of Georgia at the number 7 spot. Out of Georgia again, a neighborhood rival in the same competition. They won't see each other coming out the gate, of course. The ABA Bulldogs, a team that has enough to play on the national championship and to win it all. And of course, Bullet Football Academy coming in at the number 5 spot. Top 5 teams in the nation, of course. Let's go to Texas. Texas Elite holding it down at the number 4 spot. A lot of talent on the offensive side. Big Texas bringing it in. Alpha Dogs at the number 3 spot, holding it down out of Florida. And a team that I saw them in preseason. They played the Hurricanes tight, played Big Zip tight. Osceola Cowboys, listen, can be at the number 2 spot. Can they win it all? And of course, what I feel is one of the most dominant teams in 2024 from the beginning to the end. Oh, man, the Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes, Big Zip, what can you say about it? Holding it down at the number 1 spot, representing out of the FYFL. They'll have a lot of fun moving forward as they can return as a 13U, now being under the 7-1 YNC national umbrella. So those are the top 12, those are the top 12U teams in the country. Clay, tell me who's coming to the YNC, because this is definitely one of those age groups. Not just this year, but last year, they've been fearing the top competition. You think a 12U is no fear. You think the coaches, they take on that no fear type of attitude, mentality, right? But tell me, how does this 12U shake up for the YNC this year?
The way that this 12U shakes up, Jonah, this is going to be a 6-team bracket unless 2 people fall out of the woodworks and decide to drop their nuts and step up to the stage, right? So here are the 6 teams that's locked in. ABA Bulldogs are locked in. Atlanta Elite Lambeau is locked in. Of course, the defending national champions Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes Big Zip is locked in. Osceola Cowboys is locked in. My man Bull will be back there with his horns. Texas Elite is locked in. The question is, Jonah, who is the 6th team? I've got 2 teams with invites out right now. One of the teams sound kind of shaky. The other one sound like they're going to try to make it happen. Who's going to take that 6th and final slot to battle for the number 1 12U team in the country, man? Only time will tell us, brother.
100%. 100%. This is that age group, man, where they fearing the top heavy teams. Clay, tell me who can knock off in this particular age group, who has the best opportunity to dethrone the Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes defending national champs?
Well, I can tell you, I had a conversation with one of the coaches at the Osceola Cowboys today. They feel very, very confident. And I'm not exactly sure what Big Zip's last game was, but whatever they saw on film, they feel like that they can exploit it, right? They feel like that they can definitely, take it the distance and come out as national champs. Now, I think that honestly, though, to answer your question, you got 3 teams that I think really have a legitimate shot to try to dethrone Big Zip. And this is no knock on ABA because, of course, ABA is a great team. But I think that you've got to take in consideration how confident the Osceola Cowboys feel right now. I think anytime you have a dynamic player as Bull on the field and a swarming defense like Texas Elite has, you have to definitely put them in the category. And then here's the thing. You can say what you want to say about Howard and Lambeau, but year after year, There's never been a year where he has not been the number 1 or number 2 team in the country when it's all said and done. When the stage is at its biggest, he finds a way to win. I think Lambeau is going to shock some people in Wellington as well, too.
All right, man. Well, who are going to shock us on this 13 and under, Clay? Tell us the top 15 teams on the 13 and under 2024 in November.
Well, let's start with our On the Rise. So we're going to start with at number 15, Ruthless, 808 out of Hawaii. Sitting at number 14, the West Side Cubs out of Michigan. Sitting at number 13, the Bergen Stars out of New Jersey. Number 12, Kane Archer, little cousins in them, KC Outlaws out of Missouri. Sitting at number 11, my man Reggie all the way from the West Coast, Air Academy. And the top 10, 13U teams in the country are. Sitting at number 10, you have the Stonecrest Spartans out of Georgia. Sitting at number 9, Certified South out of Missouri. And I'm gonna throw this beacon out there. Certified South, man. I done tried every phone number and every email y'all done put in the system. Don't none of them work, man. If y'all want to get at the YNC, somebody get at me. Sitting at number 8, Primetime Select Giants out of North Carolina. Number 7, IB Braves out of California. Sitting at number 6, Trayman Elite Jaguars. And your top 5 13U teams in the country. Sitting at number 5, the Alpha Dogs out of Florida. Number 4, OG Ducks. West Coast it is. Sitting at number 3, Rod Mack and the Miami Garden Ravens. Sitting at number 2, the Boynton Beach Bulldogs. And the number 1 13U team in the country, Flanagan and the Rare Breeds. So, who is coming to the YNC? These are the 6 teams that are locked in right now. Boynton Beach Bulldogs are locked in. Air Academy is locked in.
Yes,
Miami
sir.
Garden Ravens is locked in. OG Ducks is locked in. Rare Breeds is locked in. Trayman Elite Jaguars is locked in. Those are the 6 teams that have decided to step up to the stage. The number 1 team in the country, the number 2 team in the country, the number 3 team in the country, the number 4 team in the country, the number 6 team in the country, and their number 11 team in the country. That is where we're at right now. Listen, you can say what you want. Y'all can go searching for quantity. I'm looking for quality, and quality is right here, baby.
100%. That is the 13U top 15 teams in the country and who are locked in. Now we're going to talk about the top 10 teams, top 10 14U teams in the country as we get ready to wrap up and talk about the teams that are heading to the YNC. Coming in at the number 10 spot out of Ohio, Ginn Elite, holding it down for the boys in the Midwest. Shout out to the boys out of Florida, Sunnyland Sun Devils at the number 9 spot. And the North Long Beach Panthers out of California at the number 8 spot. And at the number 7 spot, Motor City Chiefs out of Michigan. And give a shout out to those boys out of Virginia, the 757 Colts at the number 6 spots. Number 5 spots, the BGC Nittany Lions out of Michigan. And of course, in the top 4 spots, a team that can win it all. It has lots and lots of championships underneath their belts. The OG Ducks out of California holding it down at the number 4 spot. And another team that's no stranger to championships as well, Vegas Strong out of Nevada. And Maryland Heat, man, they have been on the cusp of winning national championships. Shout out to those boys, Coach Bird, Maryland Heat at the number 2 spot. And listen, a team that has won YNC repeatedly. They know how to get it done in the big gauntlet. Shout out to Coach Les and the Orange County Buckeyes, OC Buckeyes at the number 1 spot out of California. The 14U championship must go through Orange County. It is what it is, Clay. Those boys have definitely done it year in and year out, even on the YNC level.
Listen, man, who's locked in on 14U, Jonah? That's what everybody wants to know. I can tell you this, the number 1 team in the country, the OC Buckeyes, are locked in. The number 2 team in the country, Maryland Heat, is locked in. The number 4 team in the country, the OG Ducks, are locked in. Who are the other 2 teams in this 16 bracket? Sunnyland Sun Devils. The number 9 team in the country is locked in, and that final slot has been taken by the. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. I missed one. I'm sorry. Final 2 slots. Delray
Yes,
Rocks
sir.
and the Miramar Wolverines. 6 teams, nothing but fire. Let's get it.
Well, listen, that wraps it up. 6U to 14U. Man, I'm excited, Clay. As we get closer, of course, we already know coaches meeting is going to release the brackets, the real-time brackets. But at least we're seeing the teams that's locked in. We're seeing the teams. There's only like 2 or 3 spots through all the particular age groups that's open up. But I can guarantee you one thing, Clay. What I've seen so far is nothing but straight fire all the way 6U to 14U. I can tell you there's going to be some dream matchups. Next week, we'll talk about the complete teams that's done. We'll get closer to the what if brackets, and we'll release our final rankings for the 2024 season, the top 10 teams in the country. Who will there be? Who will be the teams that's heading to the YNC? We'll find that all out next week. Clay, is there anything housekeeping wise that you need to say for YNC as we get ready for the national championship?
Most definitely. So, listen, coaches, team moms, if you are part of the certification process, pay attention to your Zorts notifications, right? Because I am going to be sending out a notice here for our annual certification Zoom call, which will be happening this Sunday, right? So the way that works is that if you're not registered in Zorts on staff as a coach, then you better get on Zorts and get registered, because within the next 48 hours, I'm going to send that notification out to let everybody know what time, what the Zoom link is for our certification call that we will be having on Sunday. And that's where we talk about certification times, and we talk about what you need to have in your book, and we talk about what needs to be already completed online and what should be turned in and what's not turned in, and answer all of those administrative questions for team moms, team managers, coaches, et cetera, et cetera. These are the small details that could be the difference between being a national champion or seeing your kids and parents crying because they've been removed from the event for not having their documentation in place. So, again, if you are a team mom, if you're a team manager, if you're a coach, if you're part of your team certification process, get your credentials in Zorts now, because I'm about to start sending out notification for when we have our certification Zoom call. Outside of that, baby, I can't wait to get the. I can tell you this though, Jonah. Let me give you a little skeet taste, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Every year, that entry gets funkier and funkier. The walk-in, the walk-in path this year, Jonah, is going
Right.
to be bananas.
Bananas.
When I tell you we've got something planned that's gonna blow everybody's socks off, Jonah. Some people gonna pay admission just to walk through the door. Just to walk through the
Right.
door. They not even gonna look at football. They just gonna keep
Right.
walking up and down the aisle. Hey man, it's about to go down.
Man. Man, well, listen, I'm excited, man. As we get closer, get your Airbnbs, get your hotels locked in. Do not wait for the last minute. Listen, registration is on that Monday. Do not fly in late on Monday and cause Clay and them headaches. It is not going to be a good thing for you. Get here before so y'all can take advantage on Monday and get the administrative. The most important part about a national championship is the administrative side to it. We got to make sure your babies are registered. We got to make sure your babies are checked in. This is not one of those events that we just gonna tell you, oh, get on the football field and play. It's not one of those events. So we don't want y'all to be confused and think it's gonna be lax just because Clay, is chill during the week. No. There's a staff that will be in place. If you never get to the YNC, you're hardly gonna see Clay that day. Clay gonna be running around getting ready to put the brackets out. So you won't be able to hit Clay's phone and hit my phone up. It won't be on that. So handle your administrative side. I'm telling you right now from that. But besides that, once you guys get on the football field, enjoy it. Enjoy your time out. Remember, it's about the kids, parents. I know y'all want to have y'all libations. I know y'all want to have y'all vibrations. But remember, it's about the kids. Y'all save that on. Yeah. And so you see your boy Marcus Flanagan saying he got the invite-only pool party hosted and sponsored by Rare Breeds. And man, it's gonna be all love. It's gonna be
Hey,
all
listen,
love,
brother. I ain't gonna be nowhere near that pool party. When it's nighttime, I can try to
Nowhere
get them
near.
Z's. Try to get them
What? You already
Z's.
know. So man, hey, we thank y'all for joining us here another week at Football Uncut. I'm Jonah Willard. Clayton Guillory will tell you guys next week, same place, same time on Tuesday. Final rankings drop right here. Who would be the teams that take these rankings to the following year, and who will be the teams that compete for a true YNC championship? You will find out next week at the same place, same time, right here on Generation XU Sports Network. Till then, we got the game on lock.
Let's take them folk to YNC. We shooting a movie. Meet us on the set. We at YNC. Battle tested. Generation X. Ayy, YNC. Wanna smoke. You know where it's at. At the YNC with it. Gotta know what to expect. Yeah, YNC. Yeah, that's where everybody be. Ayy, YNC. Last year we gave them folk the key to the YNC. Who gon' be the last one to leave out the YNC? Pull up and I get out here and freeze. Ayy, yeah, this is where it start at. Where your skills, where your rank, where your heart at. Where your fans, where your coaches, where your squad at. It's how you finish up the drill, it don't matter where you start at. Hey, this is where all the gangs get litty. Hey, yeah, tell me who gon' take it back to they city. Yeah, hey, this is where all the greatest teams be. Game week, yeah, you know where to find me. Let's take them folk to YNC. We shooting a movie, meet us on the set. We at YNC. Battle tested, Generation X. Ayy, YNC, wanna smoke. You know where it's at. At the YNC with it. Gotta know what to expect. Yeah, YNC, yeah, that's where everybody be. Ayy, YNC. Last year we gave them folk the key to the YNC. Who gon' be the last one to leave out the YNC? Pull up and I get out here and freeze. Ayy, YNC, can anybody beat rare breed at the YNC? Voodoo going for a 5P at the YNC. Big zip, solid concrete at the YNC. Adamsville coming back to eat, yeah, YNC. Bessemer got two different teams in the YNC. Them Buckeyes gon' crush them by the dreams at the YNC. Them beat that cause it ain't no in between. Ayy, who leaving out of Florida with that ring? Let's take them folk to YNC. We shooting a movie, meet us on the set. We at YNC. Battle tested, Generation X. Ayy, YNC, wanna smoke. You know where it's at. At the YNC with it. Gotta know what to expect. Yeah, YNC, yeah, that's where everybody be. Ayy, YNC. Last year we gave them folk the key to the YNC. Who gon' be the last one to leave out the YNC? Pull up and I get out here and freeze.